Was listening to a guy talk today about parenting and that nature of things. And obviously, if you're talking about parenting, the topic of love comes up. And so it made me think about my own thoughts about love, and I thought I would share them with you because maybe you have had similar kind of uh, conflicts. I mean, that's not the word. Questions, uh, confusions about love as I have through the years. So I wanted to talk about the topic. What is love, and etc. So I spent a good bit of my young life. Uh, you know, do you love your parents? Yeah, I love my parents. So my parents love me. Yeah, they love me. I didn't know what I was talking about. That is, I just knew that, well, obviously there's something there. I knew they cared about me. I guess that was where that was the word that would, the synonym, if I was going to, use a synonym for love, my synonym for love in my early years would have been cared for, as well as another synonym for love would be had affection for. So, there were, and so I loved people, and I thought people loved me, but I was always confused about, there's people that I have no affection for, and there's moments when I have no affection for somebody, right? Whether it be one of my brothers, or my parents, you're getting disciplined, maybe unjustly, you think. Yeah, it's hard to love your mom and dad when they're unjustly disciplining you, if you think that it's all about affection. And so I lived a good, and of course, then I had, as I got older and was thinking about, friends, other people that I had relationships with in various ways. Who are these? Who are these people? Do I love them? Are they friends or associates? Are they comrades? What are they? Are they people I love or not? Uh, and I really struggled. I probably was almost middle aged before I really uh, came up with a word that means the most to me. Now, but first of all, certainly uh, a lot of people love people that they don't have affection for, or they have affection for people that they don't. Do you really love them because you have affection? Do you know them enough to love them? That was sort of the kind of questions I would have. I mean, how can I love somebody I don't even know? Uh, uh, you know, you see people like, I was watching something about the Beatles today, and it was funny that an episode you saw the movies, and of course you've seen the video history of the girls chasing the Beatles and everything. Do these girls love the Beatles? I mean, do they have affection for them? What's going on there? Uh, so affection certainly is related to love, and closely related to love. I would think. Uh, However, I think in some cases, there are people who can show affection. They know how to show affection, but whether or not, if they're a psychopath, they've learned how to play the game. They've learned how to act like they're affectionate, but they're psychopaths. So they really don't have any love or affection for anybody or anything. So, but that's an extreme outlier kind of thing. So, the reason that this guy was talking about, he was talking about family, is that in the end, I think he was saying that family is important for our society. So we have to have good, strong families, and for it to have a strong society. If you're a society of just single people, uh, it's a little bit there's just not the same kind of glue as there is in family. Now, obviously, if and this gets into the love question, is somehow there's families who I was. There was a line in Downton Abbey where the man told his son, son, I love you, but I really don't like you. So, And families, you can have that bond, that love bond, where you can't hardly stand your sibling or whatnot. Or maybe it's a parent who has a child who is grown up to be, a criminal, and they love their son or daughter, and yet they really regret in many ways having them because they're such evil people. Uh, Whatnot. So the word that finally came home to me that I use most often for a synonym is value. Do you value others? And so when Jesus tells the parable of the Good Samaritan, who is your neighbor? Love your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? The question comes up. Um, Jesus shows you how there's this a guy who, the man who got beat up, robbed and beat up, uh, and is being taken care of by. He's a Jew. He hates the people from Samaria. These are people who don't have the right religion, etc. And so they're, you know, virtually non-human as far as his community goes, and and yet this person who should have nothing to do with him values his life. He values him. He takes him. He helps him there on the road. He gets him, probably puts him on his donkey, takes him to that inn. He tells the inn owner, take care of him, get him back well. Here's some money. If you need any more, I'll pay you more when I come back by, going home. He expressed that he valued. Um, did he have affection? No, there's no affection going on there. Did he care for him? Well, when I say care for, when I typically, as I said in the past, use care for. My parents care for me. I don't know that the Samaritan cared for. He did take care of, but it's not like he had any relationship to care for. I guess that's the point. So we have people that we care for who have relationship. Maybe there's people at your office who you go to church with or whatnot that uh, you or have sort of a superficial relationship with that you care for. Uh, and maybe there's a few people who you have affection for. But probably most of the people in around you are people that you don't know to enough depth to have that caring or affection for. So if caring and affection is the uh, direct uh, manifestation or revelation of loving someone, then there's piles of people you don't love because you don't care for them. You certainly don't have affection for them. So what's going on? So here we go. You have to value them. So that's why, love your neighbor, love your enemy. How do you love your enemy? You value them. And so the soldier on the other side of the line that you're shooting at because your country's gone to war, you still can value that person's life. You can value them. Love your neighbor. Love your enemy. Um, so we can even, because we love, we can nurture. So and that's what happened with the Good Samaritan. He nurtured someone who he valued, and he valued because he's called to value. Even the Samaritans, now, he might have been you got to remember in this region, uh, this is formerly the nation of Israel. There probably were remnants of people who still whose families were Danites or Benjamin. Well, not Benjamite. They would have been the Jew. Uh, Ephraimites or whatever. I don't know. Other Reubenites. That's a good one. Um, so there might have been people who had a blood heritage there. It was all mixed in, and their families, like since Israel went the way for the most part of worshiping other gods. But that doesn't mean that there weren't people who had somehow. What about the people around you right now? Look at your society around you right now. How many people are really worshiping Yahweh in any serious kind of way? A lot of people out there worshiping, saying they're Christians, but they're really just, their notion of Christianity is God is a genie and takes care of me. And that's not a Christian notion. It's not a biblical notion of who God is. Yes, the Christian notion of God is that there's personhood that we're dealing with. You know, the notion of so we worship a person, we value a person, we love a person, and that's how we love God as a person, just as we love our mom or dad. And if you, this is the thing, if you may be called as a Christian, maybe you don't know who your mother or father is, or maybe your mother and father were abusive and terrible, etc. But you're still called to love them. Maybe the guy that was talking said, "Well, if people aren't loved, they might, if they don't have good parents, they aren't loved. They don't know how to love." I don't think that's true. You see, that's about affection, and that's about caring. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't nurtured. They weren't what's she called? Brought up with caring. They weren't brought up with affection, and so they don't really know how to express affection and caring. And a lot of people don't really learn how to do that until they get up. Maybe they get married, maybe through relationships with their boyfriends or girlfriends, etc. That's where they start learning how to express love and care and affection. But if God calls you to love your neighbor or to love everybody, you might not have had anybody show you care and affection, but you do value something, and we know how to value. This is the thing. There's other lessons about valuing. See, uh, so we're supposed to treasure what God treasures. A treasury is a accumulation of value, right? All that gold is a value that's sitting in the gold and gems in your treasury. So when we treasure something, we value it. And so this may be the word to me that helps has helped me to understand value a lot. In that there's a lot of things that I need to treasure, and even people who you can be a psychopath and value something, right? You may not value people, but you value something. You value your car, etc. You value your job. So things have value. So when something has value, these are the things that we love. And this is where idolatry becomes a problem, because God said, "Look, don't put anything above me." Well, when we value our car more than we value worshiping God, then obviously we've got a problem. When we value our family more than we value worshiping God, then our family has become the God. And I know people, this is the problem I think with people, good church people, is they often value their family on a level above God sometimes. That's been what I think I've seen from time to time in people, where it's, we can't do something with and for the church because we're doing something with the family. And I can't judge whether that's what that is. It just raises questions for me whenever the family becomes more important than doing things with church, when it's a godly thing. If it's the church is having a church picnic and you're having a family reunion, that's a different thing, right? That's just one social thing for another social thing. But if it's we're going to do we're going to feed the hungry as a witness to the community that God's love is here and we are the hands of God. And then you decide, well, I'd rather go hang out with my family for some reason. That's a different kind of question. That's a different value. Now, again, I can't judge what's in people's hearts, so I don't know. It just raises questions to me. Anyway, What is love? Well, if we don't value something, I don't think we're loving it. And the highest thing to value, the highest thing to treasure is God. Anyway, I hope this some been some thought provoking help to you. It's just something I know that I always struggled with, and I thought I'd share it with you, and maybe it was helpful for you. I know that uh, I I'm found a sense of relief. I think once I came to this notion that value has the most close association to the word love for me. Now, of course, the Greeks, they have philos and two or three, several words for love, right? And I think that helps to confuse us because it's so easy to sexual, especially sexual love. And that's been around during my lifetime, such a heightened thing about sex is love. Well, it's not love, right? I mean, most of the time people are chasing somebody for that purpose whenever you're not married, etc. It's you're taking care of your own desires. You're not valuing the person you're encountering. So, what is love? I hope that's been helpful. Yeah, I'm always looking for the truth. This is a truth I think that I've found. But if you want the truth, I believe all you have to do is say to God, "Hey, all I want is the truth. It doesn't matter how it comes at me. I'm willing to take it because the truth is the most important thing to me, God." I think you'll get it. Have a good day.